3 days ago, my 6-year-old daughter looked up at me with tears streaming down her face and asked, "Mommy, why doesn't Daddy love me?" I felt my heart shatter into a million pieces. For 5 years, I'd been protecting her from the truth. 5 years of lies. 5 years of saying, "Daddy's busy," or "Daddy's working far away." But that night, sitting on her bed, holding her tiny hands, I knew I couldn't lie anymore. This is the story of the hardest conversation I've ever had. Hey everyone, welcome back to Behind Closed Doors. I'm sharing this story because it's one of the most painful things I've ever been through. And if you're a single parent dealing with an absent co-parent, I want you to know you're not alone. This isn't easy to talk about, but it needs to be said. So let me take you back to where this all started. 7 years ago, I'm 32 years old now. I met my ex-husband, let's call him David, when I was 23. He was charming, successful, said all the right things. We got married after dating for a year. Everything seemed perfect. When I got pregnant at 25, I thought we were ready. David seemed excited at first. He painted the nursery, picked out names with me, came to every doctor's appointment. Our daughter, Emma, was born on a beautiful spring morning. And for the first 6 months, David was present. Not great, but present. He'd hold her sometimes, change a diaper if I really pushed, but there was always this distance in his eyes. Then one morning, when Emma was 7 months old, I woke up to a note on the kitchen counter. "I can't do this anymore. I'm not ready to be a father. Don't try to contact me." That was it. No phone call, no conversation, no goodbye to his baby daughter. Just gone. I stood there in my kitchen, holding that note, with Emma crying in her crib down the hall, and I felt my entire world collapse around me. The first year was absolute hell. Emotionally, I was destroyed. Financially, I was drowning. I had to go back to work when Emma was 3 months old because I couldn't afford not to. My parents helped when they could, but they're older and live 3 hours away. Every night, after putting Emma to bed, I'd sit on my bathroom floor and just cry. Not quiet tears, full body sobs, the kind where you can't catch your breath. But every morning, I'd wake up, look at Emma's beautiful face, and find the strength to keep going. David never called, never texted, never asked how his daughter was doing. His parents tried to stay in touch at first. They'd visit every few months, bring gifts, take pictures, but eventually even they faded away. I think seeing Emma reminded them too much of their son's failure. By the time she was 2, we never heard from them again. As Emma grew older, she started noticing things. At 3 years old, she'd see other kids with their dads at the park. She'd point and say, "That little girl has a daddy." I'd just smile and change the subject. At 4, she directly asked me, "Mommy, where's my daddy?" I told her Daddy had to go away for work, that he was very far away and couldn't visit. It was easier than the truth. She was too young to understand abandonment. At 5, she stopped asking for a while, and I thought maybe, just maybe, we were past it. But I was wrong. Last week, Emma is 6 now and in 1st grade. Her school had Donuts with Dad Day. I knew about it. I'd asked her teacher if I could come instead, and she said of course. But when I showed up, Emma's face. She tried to smile, but I could see the sadness in her eyes. All around us, little girls were showing their dads their artwork, their classroom, their favorite books. And my daughter was showing me, trying to pretend it was okay that her daddy wasn't there. When I picked her up that afternoon, She was quieter than usual. She barely spoke in the car, didn't want her usual snack. We got home, and she went straight to her room without a word. I gave her some space, thinking she just needed time to process the day. An hour later, I went to check on her. She was sitting on her bed, holding the only photo we have with David in it. It's from the hospital, the day she was born. He's holding her, but if you look closely at his face, you can see it. He's already checked out, already planning his escape. She looked up at me, and her eyes were red and swollen from crying. "Mommy," she said, her voice so small it broke me. "Why doesn't Daddy love me?" I felt like someone had reached into my chest and crushed my heart with their bare hands. I sat down next to her on the bed, trying to keep my own tears from falling. "What do you mean, sweetheart?" I asked, though I knew exactly what she meant. "Sarah's daddy came to school today, and Mia's daddy, and Ben's daddy. But my daddy never comes. He's never here. He doesn't even call me on my birthday." She was right. David hadn't called once in 5.5 years. Not one birthday, not one Christmas, not one random Tuesday to ask how she was doing. Nothing. "Does he even know my name?" she asked. And that question destroyed me, because honestly, I don't know if he remembers. I'd spent 5 years protecting her from this truth. 5 years telling her Daddy was busy, Daddy was working far away, Daddy loved her but couldn't be there. 5 years of comfortable lies. But sitting there, looking at my baby girl's broken face, I realized I couldn't lie anymore. She deserved the truth, even if it hurt. "Emma," I said, taking her small hands in mine, "I need to tell you something, and it's going to be really hard to hear, but you deserve the truth, okay?"